even pointing a gun at his fiancée, Taylor Schmieder.
They raised a shotgun at me and said, "Put your hands in the air, ma'am."
All the while, the two police officers continued to wait outside, seemingly unaware of who the bounty hunters were.
I don't know what agency that is either.
Me either. They're from PA, I think you said.
Welcome back to We the People University. My name is Abiyah Israel, former police officer and former sheriff's deputy. All right, guys, got another surprising video for you. Something that someone sent me that blew my mind. Video from a couple years ago, but it's still relevant to this day of how our rights are being violated. Also, please forgive me. Not in my normal setup. As you guys may have known, we just received a second hurricane within less than a month in the state of Florida. So of course I'm kind of like not set up properly. But anyway, let's move forward. What would you think if you were sitting or even sleeping in your home and then you started to hear banging at your front door? Guys with shotguns telling you to open up the door or they're going to kick the door down. You look out the window and you see police officers and you're thinking the guy's banging on your door. Well, they must be with the police officers, right? Well, wrong. These are like bounty hunters and they're kicking in your door looking for someone who does not live there and who was never there to start with. They come inside of your home without a search warrant, search your home, point a shotgun at your pregnant fiancée, and make all sorts of threats. That's what we're about to watch right now. This one was mind-blowing. This one was frustrating to watch. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, because when I saw this just took my mind and just, I don't know. Let's jump into this video and we're going to talk about it here in a second.
Moments for a family confronted by bounty hunters with guns drawn for a midnight search. The bounty hunters did not have a warrant, so the family is now suing, and they're suing the police as well, who stood by as it happened. It was all caught on camera. Whit Johnson has the story.
Open it up and we're kicking in.
This morning, this dramatic home surveillance video at the center of a new lawsuit. Bounty hunters armed with long guns demanding entry to this home in Buffalo, New York in the middle of the night.
Come out. Come out.
Jake Reinhardt says he was terrified and confused, emerging from the front door with his hands in the air, shirtless and barefoot. His pregnant fiancée clinging to their 3-year-old daughter inside.
I felt humiliated. I felt disrespected. All my neighbors were outside. My fiance and my 3-year-old daughter are crying.
2 Buffalo police officers seen on camera standing back, appearing to assist the armed men. The bounty hunters, Reinhardt says, were looking for his brother, who jumped a $5,000 bail bond for misdemeanors in Pennsylvania. He was not in the home.
They had no business going in, and the Buffalo police had even less business participating with them in these raids.
Reinhardt can be heard asking to see a warrant,
Let me see a search warrant.
which the men never reveal. Still, they make their way inside, even pointing a gun at his fiancée, Taylor Schmieder.
They raised a shotgun at me and said, "Put your hands in the air, ma'am."
All the while, the 2 police officers continue to wait outside, seemingly unaware of who the bounty hunters were.
I don't know what agency that is either.
Me either. They're from PA, I think you said.
So now imagine that the police officers who gave these bounty hunters access to your home and they did not protect you or your rights, but they allowed these guys to enter your home while they stood by. Now they're outside having conversations saying, wow, well, do you know who these guys are? I have no clue who they are. They allowed complete strangers to enter into your home, hold you at gunpoint, point a gun at your pregnant fiancée while they're searching through your home for someone who was never there. And the police stand by. But as we're going to continue to watch, even the supervisor will show up and say, hey, we're not well trained. Let's keep watching.
The district attorney now looking into the matter. The family suing those involved, including the Buffalo Police Department, the officers, and the bounty hunters, saying they conspired to and did unlawfully enter and search the plaintiffs' homes armed with drawn firearms, terrorizing plaintiffs and their young children. At the scene, an officer who arrived after the incident heard apologizing to the family.
This is a failure on our part. I don't know if it's not enough training or what with our guys, but this is a failure on our part.
don't know if it's not enough training or what with our guys. And I apologize for that on our part.
The Buffalo Police Department now says they can't comment on pending litigation, but a police captain did tell local TV station WIVB that he saw no violation of policy or procedure on behalf of the officers involved. The bail bond company, Bail Bond LLC, is also releasing a statement saying, in part, when credible information is received concerning the fugitive's whereabouts, agents then work with local police to locate and detain the fugitive. But they had no direct response to what happened in this case.
And so yet again, you have a police department, the Buffalo Police Department to be exact, who stated that they saw no wrongdoing or policy violation by their police officers in this particular incident. But yet, your police officers on film admitted they allowed someone to enter into a home of a citizen without a warrant, and they had no clue who these armed men were. But yet you don't believe your cops violated any policy? I think I'm going to request that policy. I have to read that policy for myself. If you guys are wondering what happened to, let's say, the guys, the bail bondsmen who actually went in, here's what happened to these guys. Let's keep watching this.
Story that News 4 investigates first broke about a year ago. It involves a bounty hunter raid that terrified residents of a South Buffalo duplex.
One of those bounty hunters, Dennis White, appeared in court today for sentencing and got quite the surprise. News 4's Luke Moretti reports.
36-year-old Dennis White is cuffed and taken to jail, but not before getting some heat from the bench.
And I don't think he's taking this seriously.
State Supreme Court Justice William Bowler says White did not fully cooperate with the probation department for a pre-sentencing report. So instead of getting only 3 years probation and walking out of the courtroom, White will also spend 60 days in jail.
I gave your client an opportunity for probation. I don't want to have all this extra trouble. If he would have just complied with the simple, lawful request of the probation officer, he'd have had his probation conditions and he would have walked away.
Erie County District Attorney John Flynn wanted jail time all along for White.
This guy has a cavalier attitude. He's quite frankly, in my opinion, a punk. In essence, he'll do his 60 days and then he'll have probation for 2 years and 10 months. He also has a 5-year order of protection with the victims here. So he can't go near the victims, near their home for 5 years.
Let's go, buddy. Why do you have a gun drawn? Please put that gun.
White was one of 2 bounty hunters involved in a midnight raid in South Buffalo a little more than a year ago. They searched the duplex of the fugitive's brother, but the fugitive wasn't there and never lived there. White was charged and eventually pleaded guilty to criminal trespass, menacing, endangering the welfare of a child, and criminal mischief. A second bounty hunter was never charged in the raid that terrified 2 young families and their children. D.A. Flynn says that's because they can't prove who he is.
I think I know who it is, all right? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure who it is. It's just a matter of I can't go in a court beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law and prove who it is.
Dennis White's attorney tells News 4 that he's reviewing whether to appeal the sentence. A federal civil lawsuit sparked by the bounty hunter raid is pending. Luke Moretti, News 4.
So the Buffalo Police Department allowed these guys to show up to the homes of citizens. Then they allow them to enter into their home without a warrant, search, aim guns at this guy's pregnant fiance, just to find out the brother that they're looking for was never there. He doesn't live there. And all while this is happening, you have the cops on the porch of the resident stating that they have no clue who these armed men are that they just allowed to walk into the home of a citizen and violate all of his rights, which is amazing. I have an email that I want to read to you guys, and it comes from Australia, and I think it's relevant to this video. Let's read this real quick. Good day from Australia. Love your channel. Love how you explain things. Just watch Got a Call from here 7 years ago. I'm no expert on USA law, obviously, but isn't there a thing called statute of limitations? And wouldn't that be a big issue for cops? For my 30 seconds of education, aka Mr. Google, I read that the highest grade of domestic battery in Indiana is a felony, class B or D. without murder is 5 years. And please correct me if I'm wrong. Should this have been a consideration in the least? When the cops reviewed the 7-year-old video, again, I apologize for my ignorance, but I too am unable to make any sense of this situation. Regards, Teresa. P.S. I too agree with you. Once you see the most stupidest thing and think it can't get any worse, surprise, tomorrow there's a worse video. Well, Teresa, here's the thing. Yes, and she's talking about this video where police officers showed up at the homes of these law-abiding citizens because of a 7-year-old video. And you would think like that's the most ridiculous thing that you can ever think of. And what she's referring to when she says, P.S., you know, don't say the video is stupid because tomorrow, you know, it gets even worse. You know, I kind of tried to stop saying that because a video that we will cover on this channel will be the most ridiculous video ever. And I would say something stupid like, all right, it can't get any worse than this. And then we end up finding a video or having another video sent to us that's worse than that. So I'm trying to stop jinxing the worst process. But I thought that email was relevant to this particular video because this is another stupid video by, I hate calling people stupid, but how dumb can you be to stand on the porch as a police officer and allow someone to enter, allow armed men, all right, who are not police officers, all right, to enter the home of a citizen, violate his rights, point a gun at his fiance, search his home for someone who's never there while you're on the porch talking about with each other, I have no clue who this guy is. Do you know him? No, I don't know. Do you know? That's crazy. I don't know what to say about that. So Teresa in Australia, yes, there is a statute of limitations. Yeah, the video was crazy because it was 7 years old and these guys showed up, you know, to the home of a citizen for a 7-year-old video. But that's American policing. You know, we are not getting better over here. We're getting way worse, and these videos are evidence of that. This is why we need to record. Always record the police. Because if we think it's bad now, just think about if there are no video evidence. It would be much worse. Record the police, know your rights. With that being said, We the People University, signing off.
Be sure to visit WeThePeopleUniversity.com where you can find our latest YouTube videos, more about myself, why I left the police department, merch, and more. If you have a police encounter that you would like highlighted, visit our website and click the Submit Videos tab. Fill out the video form submission so that we can hold these tyrants accountable. And if you guys still haven't purchased my book, Living in the Royal Tyranny, you can do so at WeThePeopleUniversity.com by clicking digital copy to read it right on your phone, or you can buy the hard copy or the paperback directly from Amazon. Also, be sure to pick up your free ebook to give you tips and tricks on how to deal with cops when you encounter them. And for those of you who are still trying to learn your basic rights, register for our course to learn how to deal with police so that your rights are not violated when you encounter cops. All this and more at WeThePeopleUniversity.com.